Welcome to T. Frank's Film Room. I'm Thomas Frank Carr, recruiting analyst for Blue White Illustrated, and today Penn State gets a big one. Four-star running back from the class of 2022, possibly the number one back in this class. That's Nick Singleton out of Governor Mifflin. Penn State gets two things. First off, they get a top player to stay in Pennsylvania, and as Penn State fans, now's your chance to celebrate. I'll give you a second here. Start cheering. Singleton chose the Nittany Lions over the places like Alabama and Notre Dame, and Penn State fans have been feeling like they've been missing out on these guys that go to top programs. Singleton choosing Penn State. Okay, are you done cheering? Let's get into the film, because running back is a really interesting position where you can have so many different skill sets and still be successful. So what is it that Singleton does that makes him so exciting? And the first thing is, the thing that everybody's looking for is speed. Singleton has a lot of these runs in Governor Mifflin's system that sets him up for big plays because he gets all these pitches to the outside, so he's naturally put in space on a regular basis, but he takes advantage of them. You see, he's got the speed to break angles and to take a big play and turn it into a touchdown. This sets the table for every skill that everyone's looking for. When you have that high-end burst at the line, you see when he accelerates with the ball in his hands, and then the track long speed to complete the play, that's what you're looking for. If you can make plays in space, you can make those big runs. College football is about putting people in space and then taking advantage of it. When you have light boxes at the next level, coaches want you to be able to break a tackle and get downfield. And despite that ability, what I like and I think is the best asset of his game is that Singleton isn't trying to outrun everybody to the edge. He's actually a very patient downhill runner who wants to stick his foot in the ground and get downhill. I think this is going to make him a great runner between the tackles at the next level, despite the fact that the majority, 90% of his runs are to the outside. He has this desire to cut off blocks, get downhill, and to maximize the yards on every play. And if there's one thing I'd say is the hallmark of his running, it's that he's a patient, mature runner. He sets up blocks really well, and he doesn't try to outrun his blocks to the edge, where he's waiting for guys to set things up for him and maximizing the yards on every play in a lot of different ways, which we'll get to here in a second. But these are the fun plays to watch, where he has a block downfield, and he has the vision, the patience, and the awareness to make the most out of all of his runs. And when you combine that with the speed and the maturity, this is why every school in the nation wanted Nick Singleton, is because these are immediately translatable skills that you don't have to coach the patience and the vision. It's already there. So it's about accentuating what he is, which is a big, strong kid. He's 6 foot, between 200 and 210 pounds listed, and he looks like it. So when you combine that with the fact that this kid is a hammer, all of that, plus he finishes runs the right way. The way, if you're a running back coach or you're an offensive lineman or you like old school football, you love the way his pads dip at contact and he's able to run through people. So the maturity and the tenacity are there, where he's going to get you the big play. He's going to hit home runs, but he's not going to keep you behind the chains. He's going to fall forward on every play and get the maximum amount of yardage. I'd say if there's one thing that he does, it's that. He maximizes the yards on every play. So then it becomes, how much more of all of those things can he be? And if there's one thing that I think is descriptive, but I don't think is necessarily a negative, is that he's so mature that he lacks that sort of insanity in his running style, that creativity in space where he can make those big, unpredictable plays. And then you want to see a little more lower body strength and a little more drive, because, again, he's got it for high school. Now we're talking about making him into the top running back in all of college football, so he needs to add that strength to his lower body to become a short yardage back, a chain mover, and the guy that is getting 2 and 3 extra yards every single time he touches the ball, because that is much more his style. If he never becomes the elusive space player that makes everyone's jaw drop, he still can be one of the best running backs that you've seen because of that strength, that lower body power, and that explosive run through contact. He just has to accentuate those skills going forward, which, again, at his size already and the potential for growth, especially in his lower half where that explosive power and drive comes from, he's got plenty of room to grow. So Nick Singleton can be one of the most complete backs that Penn State has had, in a very long time. And I think it's a very interesting comparison if you look at their track numbers and you look at their eventual playing style of Journey Brown. I think there's a fair comparison to be made of what Journey Brown turned into with explosive running style and wanting to run people over at the point of contact. Nick Singleton is that, but a more advanced, mature version of that in high school, so the translation factor might be quicker when he gets to Penn State. So Nick Singleton, a part of the class of 2022, Penn State on a run this summer. I'm T. Frank. This is T. Frank's Film Room for Blue White Illustrated.